and coming out of a really hard-working semester, and we're happy. You know, it's summer. Come on, nobody like hates summer or something like that. And so, what we did is we want to invent something. We want to make a better of our life. So, we got this opportunity and we started. But 2 months back, we got nothing. Absolutely empty, because we have no idea what where the project is going. We have no idea what technology we're going to use, and so we're just jumping in blind. And this is probably the best part, because along the way, we learned something new and something unexpected. So. And today, I have so many things in my brains right now, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. So much code, so much, ideas in there that I don't even have time to integrate it into my project, right? Our project, literally. And so, I would like to start by asking Dormitory to tell us what we learned throughout this whole 2 months, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be priceless.
Thank you, Kevin. So as Mike said, for this project, one of the biggest goals was to learn for ourselves, and we learned a lot. So most of us were not familiar with full stack. We were working on back end or front end, but with this in the summer we got to work on both. We explored a lot, and now we feel we can build a website. So our project, the technology stack includes AngularJS and Node.js, which is very scalable and fast web development framework. So we got to explore that. This is something where we spend a lot of time on. We explore data-driven applications. So even in future, if E4T wants to add any fields to their database, they just have to add them and make a few changes the admin has to make a few changes in database, and the website will be still working. They don't have to make any changes in code. So this is something which we feel a great learning experience. We worked on 3-tier application. So even if they want to go ahead and have a mobile application, they can they still have their data access layer, and they can easily go and hire some mobile application developers and go for them. We learned to create Bootstrap, use Bootstrap and create responsive applications. So that was kind of cool to see the application moving according to our skill. And this is something our great learning experience can be. So we initially started with MongoDB, but later we realized that the requirements were more structural, and we came to MySQL database. So that's what we learned. We have to, in the beginning of the project, we have to find out how the data is, and accordingly choose the database. So, but yeah, we quickly picked that database and came to use MySQL. And yes, we got a chance to work with E4T and TFI. They are doing amazing work. So thanks for giving this opportunity. Now I'll hand over to Kevin.
Yeah. Okay, demo. Sure. Right. So this is our dashboard. It's basically for them. Everything is dummy data, but data-driven. So everything you see, all the data, all the numbers that you see on here, comes from the database. We didn't make that up, So if anything database changes, you're gonna see the changes over here. So over here, we'll have a dashboard with basically a graph, right? You can see a graph, and this graph goes according to impacted students. And since dummy data, it doesn't look that perfect, so it's a huge line, which means they didn't do any work. So we can start with people, and when we click it to the second one, you get a different data, which is number of workshops, right? But if you can see, the URL doesn't change. So it's basically a page application where we don't have to change every page to do that. We just need to render that area charts every single time a single item has been pressed. So all this data comes from the database again, and they can manipulate the data however they want, right? And so, with this, let's go to workshop. As you can see, this is not the full part of the database. There's a lot more fields in there, but we use Angular to hide a lot of them, so it gives you a complete user-friendly interface. And as you can see up here, we can have a. Why does it look so white? But you can do a create workshop, and as you can see, all the fields in here, we didn't make them, right? Just that this is a demonstration of data-driven document. So the title, the subject, the concept, they all come from part of the database that has those lists, and all the fields in the middle, you can see, follows that data binding in order to pass back to the database. And so we don't have to do anything to this web page. We just need to make changes to the database, and this will automatically comes with it. And this is basically how we do it.
So in layman terms, what we are doing here is, usually when you create a website, you hardcode these fields. That's the data that you are capturing. But we wanted to give more flexibility. So what we said is, you just go and change the database, add few values into it, and it will automatically come here. What that helps is with delivering new changes at a very faster pace. You do not have to go through code changes, which also prevents regression due to those code changes. So that is something that we have achieved using data-driven model.
Okay, so as you can see, 10, 11, 100, I can press submit, right? And it will go straight to the database, and it will the database will return all the data that you have. As you can see earlier, the workshop ID earlier is there. That is our default version. We use that to identify if it's a new or if it's an update. And so when it returns, it gives you a different ID with all the data that I just created, right? And so if you not the dashboard. Sorry. Workshops. If you go back to there, you will see that dummy data and this is all in here, right? This is awesome, right? Oh, I hide the agenda part. Yeah. So that's why user friendly. You don't want an agenda that's like gigantic amount of data on here. So that's pretty awesome. And we basically implement all these ideas into all the other subcategories, like events they have, the people they want to store, and the curriculum they want to keep, right? And so everything is basically the same thing, but I do have a special one in the events because we do have a location, but since this location doesn't work as a lat line, it only has one number, you will only see one map here. Yeah, this is so tiny. But this is an interactive map that the marker is already set for ready for data to come in, and it's not. So unfortunately, we can't show this today. But when the data actually comes in, you will see all the markers of where you have the event and what time with a bubble on it. So the E4T staff can see, oh, so this is where we are right now. Most of our events are hosted in Bay Area, and we can try to branch out to certain places, and they can see it, visualize it, to know where they want to go, right? So they can see where the kids are not getting enough, knowledge or getting enough influence by them. Yeah, and so same thing with other and the people. So that's basically it.
So yeah, we talked about what we have learned, what we did for this project. But the most important thing was the impact that we create when we do that. How, in which way our making this project helps the NGO to do things at a better pace, in a better way. So these are a few of the impacts that we have created. This is our contribution. We are really proud of it. So the agenda of E4T is introduce, excite, and inspire students, young kids towards STEM, so that they can and present an ideal figure in front of them that they can aspire to be in the future. And by providing this portal, we are helping them do it in a better way. As you saw on the dashboard, we are giving them live statistics, their progress, the number of workshops that they have done over the year, from year to date, the number of students that they have had, and the various curriculums that they have made, so on and so forth. So we provide them with live statistics. Previously, they were using Excel sheets to do all this stuff, and that is a lot of work. And it is error prone as well, because of the human interaction that is there. With this portal, they can deliver the same things. What they used to previously, they used to take like 2 weeks to do something. Now they can do it in 2 days or maybe in 2 hours, and come up with an ad hoc event for students. So that's the kind of impact that this project has for them. And the ability to quantify their progress. So they always have a targeted number of students for a year. That's their goal. Previously, they had to do a lot of computations on Excel sheets to identify if they're reaching there or not. But now, with the click of a button, they know how far or close they are to their goal. So these are some of the key features that this project is giving them. So this is what we are aiming for: better engineers for tomorrow. Thank you.
Just a PS side note. This product is still being developed, and we're going to continue to develop. And I really believe what they're doing, since I wanted to be a pilot when I was like 5 years old, right? And it was someone who introduced me to hardware and software that today I'm standing here learning and building awesome products. So if you guys also believe what they do and want to contribute, you can talk to them and help us finish also, so we can build a bigger team. Thank you.